Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, those tuning in to our online affiliates around the world, we're glad you all could join us as well. We're excited to welcome actor Farley Jackson to our program today to talk to him not only about his acting journey, but also what it's been like for him to do work that he loves, what it's been like for him to see all the hard work he's been putting in paying off, and, of course, that you guys know what he's looking forward to as well. If you guys are not following Farley on social media, we'll let you know where to be able to discover him there. But Farley, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it, man.
Hey, what's going on, boss?
Hey, man, doing really good, man. Glad to have you on with us. And you look, I mean, we've already, we had a nice little pre-show before the actual live show, so it was great to be able to talk to you a bit. You know, Farley, I have to say, one of the things I always love to do is kind of start off with where we are today, because I think so many times we're always thinking about what we've done, but, you know, to actually reflect on where we are today is always important. What has that been like for you to kind of look at what you've been able to do and where you are right now?
Awesome. Well, before I even tackle that, man, I want to just let you know, man, I really appreciate your show, Conversations Live. This venue's been here for 17 years, and it's been showcasing up-and-coming talent, up-and-coming artists, and just showing them in a great light. And I just want you to know I'm a real fan, brother. Real fan.
I appreciate that, man. It means a lot.
And so now, what was the question?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, I mean, what has this reflection been like for you, Farley, to be able to think about what you've been able to do and where you are right now?
Oh, man. Just number one, highly appreciative. Very, very thankful, and it's just it is. I'm just in a different space. I'm in a different space now than I was maybe even a year ago, maybe even 6 months ago. Like, so the growth, the internal spiritual growth has been just phenomenal, and I must admit that's why that spiritual growth is why I'm experiencing such epic acceleration in my career right now, and in my life. Period. Just in my progression as a man. You know. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting here you say that, Farley, because when I was prepping for this, I mean, it's almost like if people are following you, like on Instagram, where there they can find you at I am Farley Jackson, what they'll find is not just, of course, your acting, but also, you know, other interests you have as well. I mean, you are literally, it seems like, a fighter, but, I mean, I think it's a great way to kind of look at it illustratively in life. Have you always known that you had to fight for what you wanted?
Yes. That's actually been an underlying, and at my, especially in the early times, in early stages of my life, it's been an overlying factor. Is that where I'm at today? It's been a continuous fight, but now that and I'm glad you asked that question, but because I can sit here from where I'm at now, look back, from when I was a child on up to now, and where I'm at now is there is no fight for me. The fight is, there's from here on out, there's faith.
Got you. That is a great segue, because actually you mentioned being a different person than you were a year ago, even 6 months ago, Farley. You made a post on Instagram on November the 6th, 2020, and it was a scripture, one of my favorites, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. How has that kind of kept you motivated and knowing that you're not doing this by yourself?
Well, the question you just asked answered itself. Because when I believed it was all the load was on me to carry, and when I was doing it my way and trying to carry the weight on my own, things weren't working as smoothly. Let's put it like that.
Gotcha.
There was a lot of I experienced a lot of resistance, and I just believe now looking back on it, I believe that number one, there are for people that can understand it and that are on this level, there are I mean, as the Word of God says, we wrestle not with flesh, but with spirits and principalities and all powers of darkness, right? So, and so there's a lot of spiritual powers and influence that pose resistance against you in this world anyway. So, when you're trying to, and when you're trying, you can't confront or overcome something spiritual or supernatural by natural means. You have to you have to do it by with you have to fight spirit with spirit, and not just spirit with spirit, but the greater spirit. If I would.
Yeah. I think that is it. And so then when you look then to kind of come full circle and how we began already this conversation then, Farley, do you feel like because you've recognized that has kind of helped you along the way, even when things didn't always go as planned?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, the more, and I'm coming from, I'm obviously coming from the faith and belief in the Word of God being the truth, right? So once I believed that to be the truth, and then surrendered to that being the truth, and then received what he was telling to me and was open and receptive to it, that's when things that's when the pressure starts to come off, because literally God's word says it. He says, cast your burdens onto me, because my burdens are light and my yoke is easy. Yoke, what he was talking about was back in the day, they would put this contraption on top of an ox in the farming field, and that yoke would link the oxes together, and it was a heavy contraption, but they used that yoke to guide and steer the ox while they were plowing the field. So he's saying the yoke that we're carrying is heavy and burdensome, but when we give it to him, his burden is light and easy, and his burden is just to trust and believe in him. And the only actions he calls us to do is corresponding actions as far as faith is concerned. If you really believe him, you will follow through in agreement with his word. You see what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at in my life right now, is trusting what his word says, and because I trust it, I am displaying the corresponding actions. So I'm going through the corresponding actions. Like if I believe he's setting me up for a win, what am I doing? I'm preparing to accept that reward because I believe it's true.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it, man. I think, when people can find something larger than themselves and realize it's not just on them, I think it definitely makes life better for us, because for one, as I mentioned, we realize we're not going through this by ourselves, but also that no matter what we're going through, that we have a God there that's going to be able to help us and to be there to strengthen us along the way, which strengthening in your industry is important, Farley, because the entertainment industry is not an easy industry. So you guys, definitely have to be fortified. So I was curious about something. As I mentioned, that people look at you on Instagram, acting is definitely a part of what you've done, but it seemed like performing is more part of what you're all about. So have you always known that you wanted to perform or entertain in some form or fashion?
Yes, yes, I have. I knew from when I was from as early as I can remember. I knew that was my calling. I grew up playing little league sports with the likes of like Wesley Snipes' children, Denzel Washington's children. I don't know if you remember Michael Cooper from the Lakers back in the day.
Yeah.
His son, and with Shaka Khan's son. So, and plenty others. But, I was always inspired by these, and a lot of people, a lot of the children that I grew up with were child actors, were very successful child actors, and I was always just in awe of what they did, and even aside from that, when I was growing up, movies and television taught me a lot of principles that I grew up using in my life. So TV and film was always heavy in my development as a person.
Wow.
Very motivational and inspirational to me.
Yeah. So I was just going to ask you then being around that then, Farley, did that help you to see past the Hollywood side of Hollywood, if you know what I mean? That it wasn't all the red carpets and the flashing lights and the attention, that it really was work.
Oh yeah. Well, let's be honest. Like the people that are in this career field, attention is a big thing. That's why you perform. Because you like the attention for the thing or the acknowledgement for the things you do well. You see what I'm saying? So that's a big part of it. But that was never my my driving force. The red carpets and none of that. It was I just loved to entertain and get and I liked the acknowledgement that I received from what I did.
Yeah. And now, of course, people are able to see you. I mean, you've been a part of some great projects, Farley. What about for you at this point? I mean, do you find yourself still having those wow moments, as I like to call them, when you kind of look at, the people you've been able to work alongside?
All the time. I've been able to work alongside a lot of talented A-listers, people that are veterans in this game, and actually just have just regular conversations, everyday conversations with a lot of Hollywood's brightest and best, and there's a lot of wow moments just in that. But the biggest wow moments are when someone from across the world DMs me, or I'm gonna give you a particular example, right?
Okay.
I had to call Amazon. This is an everyday thing. I had to call Amazon Prime because one of my packages I hadn't received, right? And so I called, and I was trying to get everything together, and the person that was helping me on the phone, I believe he's like an Asian of Asian descent, and young kid, probably in his early 20s, and he was very, 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 very good at helping me out and get my problem resolved. And toward the end of the call, I thanked him for his help. He helped me out tremendously. And he asked me, he said, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yes, go ahead." He goes, "Are you Farley Jackson, like the actor?" And I was like, I said, "Excuse me," because it took me off guard. He said, "Are you Farley Jackson, the actor?" And I said, "Yeah, my name is Farley Jackson, and I do act." And he was like, "Yes, I've been following your career ever since." I want to be a soap star in Cold Case. And I was like, wow. That was a wow moment. And see, I get wow moments even more so from just everyday people contact that I come in contact with, and you know, they let me know in somehow, some way that my work has left an impact on them, have made an impact on them and a lasting impression. And that's, you know, that's why I do the work now, you know what I'm saying? Because it's about, for me, it's about leaving a legacy by making an impact on the world around me.
And I tell you, to be able to continue to do that has to be a great thing. Of course, I noticed, and you've posted about Farley, people, you know, of course, this year there's The Good Doctor, but also some other great projects as well. As I said, you know, you've been able to do what so many people just talk about on these shows that people have gotten to watch. I know people ask you this question, so I will ask you what you tell them. When people ask you, what do I have to do, or how do I do it? What advice do you normally give them, Farley, about the business that you're in?
Good question. Well, the first advice I tell them is, you know what, you really should turn and run as far as you can from this industry. If you can. You know, this industry is not everybody's built for this. Just like not everybody's built to, you know, to fight somebody in the boxing ring or the octagon. You know, it's just certain personalities that can do that. Not everybody can do that. It's just not in everybody to be able to do that. You know, the nature of this beast is pretty tremendous, and you know, it takes a certain kind of person to weather this storm. Now, if the person that I say that to, however, still is adamant about, you know, what they're asking me, then I say, well, I let them know, first of all, there's no real particular road of travel, you know, path of travel to this. You know, everybody in this industry has gotten in and you know, worked and navigated their way through the ranks different ways. No two people have the same way. But what I will say is, number one, you have to have something internally that's stronger than this flesh part of us, you know, that can endure this industry, because it's such a subjective industry, and you know, you gotta get used to hearing no, and you're not good enough. You know, you have to have the belief that you are the greatest thing to happen to this industry before anybody else sees it. You see what I'm saying? And then I would handle the technical part. Well, if you want to get started in a career like this, it's a great idea for you to actually find a photographer that specializes in headshots, taking headshots, because that's how actors promote themselves for roles, is by headshots. You want to find, and I also learned throughout the years that when you're looking for a photographer, you got to keep your skin tone in mind, because certain photographers shoot certain people with certain skin tones better than others. So you want to look at how do they shoot people with my skin tone. You see what I'm saying? Because that'll tell you a lot about how that person will be able to shoot you. If you like what you see, you see what I'm saying? And then it's going to be good for you. Now, another thing is you got to know what quality to look for. You know, what is industry standard quality headshots? Well, you want to find somebody that can like you have apparel models that model clothes, right? So the emphasis is always on the clothing they're wearing, right? Well, as an actor, you are the brand, so you want to find someone that can enhance what your quality. You know, the most important thing is, how do they capture that light in your eyes? If they can get them eyes to pop in those headshots, and they can make and they can give you those high quality, high resolution pictures, you're going to be in a good place. You know what I'm saying? So you just you have to do the research on that. And then the second thing I tell them is I would tell them to start finding people who want to or who are shooting like different sketches, dramatic pieces, comedic pieces. You know what I'm saying? And or maybe even go online and find a script to a television show that you like, and take some excerpts of a scene that you thought was a powerful scene or a very funny scene that can show you in a good light, and record it. Record a scene with a friend that's working toward the same direction you are. You see what I'm saying? So you can start working on building a reel, because actors act on stage and television and film, right? So you got to know what kind of actor you're going to be. Are you more passionate about being on stage live in front of people, or are you more passionate about being in front of the camera? You know what I'm saying? So, or some people may not. Some people may want to be behind the camera. They might want to direct or produce. So you just got to know. You got to know what direction you want to go, and based on that, start taking small steps toward building that resume up. And the final thing I would tell them is get on a because a lot of people ask me, well, how do you even get submitted for how do you even get seen to audition for a show or a play or a movie? So I tell them, well, if you don't have any representation at the moment, agent or manager, you want to go to you're gonna want to get an account on ActorsAccess.com. You're gonna want to get an account on LAcasting.com, and you're gonna want to get an account on CastingFrontier.com. Those are the three top industry submission sites, online submission sites that industry professionals use to find talent to book for auditions and for castings and for projects. So that's what I would tell them, and why that's why I said get a headshot and start building your reel, because you're going to have to upload that stuff to those sites so that casting directors and film producers can start shopping for you on those sites as possible talent to cast on their projects.
Such a great point. A lot of great information, guys, for those who are looking to get into the business. And notice I asked them about the business, because it's not just entertainment. It is the entertainment business. So you have to be able to treat it like a business. Again, everyone, Farley Jackson has been our guest for this segment, talking with us about his journey in front of the camera, what it's been like for him to do what he loves, but also what guides him along the way. Farley, for those who are not already connected with you, where is the best place for them to be able to find you?
Well, I'm on Facebook under Farley Jackson. I'm also on Instagram at I am Farley Jackson, and I'm on Twitter as well at Farley Jackson as well. So those are the three main social media platforms that they can actually find me on, and I'm very accessible. So if you leave me a comment on a picture or something, I'm more than likely give you a shout out and thank you, and thank you for taking the time to stopping by and leaving a comment. So and I'm also on YouTube as well under my YouTube channel, Farley Jackson.
All right, so make sure you guys are definitely staying connected. Farley, man, congratulations to you, man. Really glad we had a chance to have this conversation today, and looking forward to our next conversation together as well. Man, looking forward to it. Do you mind if I let you guys know what's coming up? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. There's a couple of television and film projects, major television and film projects that I am in the hat, so to speak, for that are pending, and we're just looking for the finalization on these things, and I can't really speak on those yet because I'm under NDA. But I keep people posted on social media about those things, and I just did a guest star on The Good Doctor on season 4, episode 14, Gender Reveal, as
as Bradley the Body Vardez. And so if they want to check that out, The Good Doctor's on Amazon Prime. They can check that out on there. And also, I have 3 film projects that me and my film partners, and my one being my best friend in the world, Choice Skinner, and our business partner Tony Germanario. We have one movie that's in pre-production right now called Alexis, and Alexis deals with 2 undercover task force members from the lost continent of Atlantis that are reluctantly partnered together to track down a weapon that threatens to destroy the universe. So that's gonna be big. That's on some Marvel comic type stuff. Already we coming in hot. You see what I'm saying? Then we got another film that we have in pre-production called The Legend of Cicero. Now, The Legend of Cicero is actually a horror drama, and this is about a young man who is unwittingly used by his uncle to channel a vengeful spirit that seeks retribution on the men who brutally killed his sister. Another nail biter. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. You're going to be on the edge of your seat. And one other thing, this is a project has been in post-production for a while now, and we're almost ready to drop it. But Choice wants to really get it right, man. He's been working really hard over the years getting this post-production. It's just been kind of held up because other film projects ended up taking precedence over it. But this film is called Keep the Faith, and it's about an ex-gang leader who comes to Christ years after the rapture and is persecuted in a Christian containment camp by his rival and former drug dealer.
Whoa!
By his rival, a former drug dealer. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know if my hair's already standing up on my neck. I don't know about you, but I got goosebumps already just reading those 3 synopses right there.
Wow. Well, a lot for us to be able to look forward to for sure, Farley. So we'll definitely make sure we're staying connected with you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Man, like I said, man, it goes without saying, you have an open invitation. Looking forward to the next chat with you.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. And before I end this, I just want to cap it off by saying 3 things. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Hey, man, y'all have an amazing day. You're going to have a blessed day beyond compare now because I said that name. So God bless you, and I'm looking forward to more conversations with you, brother.
For sure. Definitely looking forward to that. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.